Welcome everybody. Let me introduce my PhD thesis title, which is the evaluation of the mechanical and antipathogenic characteristic of dental polymers. My name is Lilien Nagy. I work as a dentist at the Department of Prosthodontics, and my supervisor is Zoltán Géci, and my SMS is Cindy. And let me share with you my mission, which is to decrease the incidence of denture fracture and the denture stomatitis. And my vision is to develop a denture-based material with both antipathogenic and good mechanical characteristics as well. You can see here my two specific goals, and my first project is the evaluation of flexural strengths and antimicrobial characteristic of polymethyl metacrylate incorporated with silver nanoparticles. Nowadays, 19% of the population wear removable dentures, and the most widespread material is the polymethyl metacrylate, which is a denture-based material, and it has some good properties in terms of the aesthetics and stability in oral cavity, but there are some drawbacks in terms of the fracture of the dentures and the denture stomatitis. And nowadays, researchers try to enhance these features with incorporating materials. And I have chosen the silver nanoparticles because it is known it has antimicrobial effect. But we do not know if we would like to incorporate it dental acrylic, in which concentration we can gain the antimicrobial effect, and we do not know the effect on the mechanical properties. So this is why my aim is to assess the effect of silver nanoparticles addition to PMME on mechanical and antipathogenic characteristics. My clinical question: how does incorporating silver nanoparticles affect the flexural strengths and antifungal characteristic of dental acrylic resins? The population is the dental acrylic resins. The intervention is the incorporated silver nanoparticles. The control group is the samples without any incorporated nanoparticles, and the outcome is the flexural strengths and antimicrobial characteristics. And my hypothesis is the flexural strengths of dental acrylic resins with silver nanoparticles is not inferior to the control group, and my other hypothesis is the antifungal characteristic of dental acrylic resins with silver nanoparticles is superior to the dental acrylic resins without silver nanoparticles. And my clinical implication is to decrease the incidence of denture fracture and the denture stomatitis. And I have made the systematic search, and I have found overall more than 13,000 articles on 4 databases. You can see some of my key articles, and I summed the PICOs of these articles. After the duplicate removal, I have found more than 8,000 articles, and my selection pair is Zsófia Vince, and I have finished the title abstract selection, and I have found 135 articles, and Zsófia is still working on the title abstract selection, and I have started the full text selection as well. My second topic is the evaluation of the mechanical characteristic of polymethyl metacrylate incorporated with titanium dioxide nanoparticles. As I mentioned, the polymethyl metacrylate denture-based material has some limitation regarding the mechanical properties, and in my second project I choose the titanium dioxide nanoparticles to evaluate the effect of the most common physical properties like flexural strength, impact strength, and microhardness. And titanium dioxide has good properties. This is why I have chosen this, and it is increasingly used in the latest articles because of its antimicrobial effect, non-corrosion and non-toxicity, and because of its low cost. And my aim is to assess the effect of the addition of titanium dioxide to PMME on mechanical properties. My clinical question: how does incorporating titanium dioxide nanoparticles affect the mechanical characteristics of dental acrylic resins? You can see here my PICOs. I have evaluated the flexural strength, the impact strength, and micro hardness. And my hypothesis is the mechanical characteristics of dental acrylic resins with titanium dioxide nanoparticles are superior to the control group. And my clinical implication is to improve the mechanical properties and decrease the prevalence of denture fracture. I have made a preliminary search and I have found about 8,000 articles on 4 databases. And I have found one previous meta-analysis which was about the flexural strengths, about the acrylic incorporated with titanium dioxide nanoparticles, and it's evaluated the concentration of the titanium dioxide in 0.5% and 2% of titanium dioxide nanoparticles. And in my new meta-analysis, I plan to add more articles to the previous concentrations, and I would like to involve another concentration. I would like to evaluate the 1% of the titanium dioxide nanoparticles as well, and I would like to evaluate more outcomes, the micro hardness and the impact strength as well. And I haven't found any Prospero registrations. You can see some of my key articles in this chart. And I would like to summarize my goals. In my first project, my planned submission date is the May of 2024, and in my second project, September of 2024. And thank you for your attention, and I would like to finish my presentation with a quote by Robert Collier: "Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out." Thank you.
I have 2 questions, if you allow me. My first one, you mentioned these nanoparticles. Are you investigating different sizes of them? And my second one, if yes, then how does the different sizes affect the mechanical properties of acrylate?
Thank you for your question. The size of the nanoparticles are between 1 nanometer to 100 nanometers. And for the other question, if it has an effect on the mechanical properties, yes, it can has an effect, and we would like to evaluate this. And in our research, we would like to involve articles with the same sizes, or if we do not find the same sizes, we would like to create ranges, and we would like to compare or take in consideration the sizes as well. And there are some other features which can have an effect on the mechanical properties, not just the size, but also the form of the nanoparticles, or the polymerization time, or if the samples are immersed in water or not.
I would like to ask if these nanoparticles are incorporated into the material by the manufacturer, or they are mixed in manually by the investigator or at an odontotech laboratory.
Thank you for your question. This is added by the researcher, so it is not in the acrylic powder. I think it's because of the stability of the silver nanoparticles. So this is why it's added before the measurement.
This addition really influences the color and the aesthetics. Like the denture may turn into black or gray. So is that maybe considered or not?
We didn't measured or checked the effects on the color, but I think in bigger concentrations it can has an effect on the color of the denture. So and we should consider if it has an effect on color, we should think about that. Maybe make a denture with a double layer, so the gingival part should be incorporated with silver nanoparticles. Maybe in this way, the outer part can be aesthetic, but still gain an antimicrobial effect.
You mentioned that you would like to compare the flexural strengths of the material. In the articles, do they measure it the same way, or how do they measure this property?
In all of my key articles, they measured with the same way, with the universal testing machine, and the method was the 3-point bending, and it was the same, and the samples were created according to the American Dental Association specification. So the samples were also the same.